Hey Columbus, hey Ohio, what's up everybody? I hope everybody is well, I hope everybody is safe. If not, I hope you're doing what you need to be well and safe. I hope everybody's pursuing their own happiness. I honestly believe that food is a big part of everyday happiness. It is my goal to bring you happiness in a way that I have enjoyed it and experienced it growing up in my life. And hopefully you will enjoy it the same way that I have. One way that I plan on giving you happiness and bringing it to you the way that I have enjoyed it is bringing you into my world. Well, I guess I would have to let you know why I think food is a big part of happiness. That would involve telling you how I got my start in the kitchen and loving food. That goes back to me being about 6 or 7 years old, being a younger cousin of the family. We have family get-togethers, and in these family get-togethers, you know, of course, being the annoying one, get on everybody's nerves. My mom would come get me and drag me into the kitchen with my aunt, my grandma, herself, and other ladies of our family. And being in the kitchen, you know, the way they would keep me in there, I would reluctantly stay in there because they would give me food, you know, and I would love the way the food tasted, and I would keep eating it. And eventually I learned that I had a knack for tasting food and being good at it. And every year they come back and get me, even when I didn't do anything, and they want me to taste food, and like it didn't taste the way it tasted last year. So I became the tongue, and even then I still didn't like cooking. It wasn't my thing. You know, it took a while. It took a while for me to start liking to cook. You know, so I was about 12 years old or whatever, and you know, the family get-togethers that had gone away. That's one of the big reasons I like to cater now, because the feeling I got during family get-togethers, that's that feeling I want to give to everybody else. So 12 years old, my mom, she was working a lot. She was barely home, and we were eating a lot of cold cut sandwiches, a lot of deli meat, you know, and I'm like, Mom, why don't you cook some food? I miss dinner. I miss the way it used to be. And she told me she didn't have time, and if I wanted a hot meal, that I needed to cook it myself. So me being the person that I was, I took it as a personal challenge. So, you know, everybody was gone, and I decided to go ahead and start making food. I made dinner. I made fried chicken wings, fried chicken thighs actually, and also canned green beans and boxed mac and cheese, the old cheesy mac, you know. And you know, I seasoned everything up perfectly. Everything tasted good. Everything was fine. And then my mom got home. She got to eating it. You know, she was surprised that I cooked. First of all, she was like, "What? You actually did it?" You know. And then she was skeptical. Started eating, and it was good. And started getting into some of the bigger pieces, and it wasn't done all the way. And that was when she started to give me my first lesson. She was like, "How'd you cook it?" And I told her, you know, I turned the heat up, you know, and I put it in the pan. And she said, you know, make sure you turn it on medium heat first. You know, you always want to start off on medium heat. And then if you do put it in there and it's too hot, then you can adjust the temperature. You can turn it down, or you can turn it up if it's too cold. And then if you cook it all and it's not done yet, you can always throw it in the oven. That's how she finished the meal that I cooked my first time. She put the chicken in the oven, and that's when like I said, I got my first lesson off my mother. And then still, even then, I wasn't adamant about being a chef. You know, I didn't even know it was called a chef at that point. You know, when I eventually tell my mom I wanted to be a chef, I told her I wanted to be a professional cook. You know, I had no idea. So about 14 years old, that's when I got my first job in the restaurant industry, working at McDonald's. Working at McDonald's in Madison, Ohio, downtown. It was a busy restaurant. On the weekends, you know, before football games, we would get smashed. After football games, we get a little busy as well. And still, even then, you know, it was just a job. I didn't think that's something I was going to pursue and do for the rest of my life. Then I was 16 years old. You know, I worked in a couple other fast food restaurants, and then eventually I ended up working in the Bob Evans. And you know, it was around that time when everybody was figuring out what they wanted to do with their life, and the only thing I had done was cook, and that's the thing that I had found was nearest and dear to my heart. And so I started to do. I began cooking, and I believe that's what I want to do for the rest of my life. So I started looking at cooking schools, and eventually I went to Le Cordon Bleu in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and that was the real start of my culinary career. From there, I did an internship at the Dayton Marriott, and then from there, you know, we did big banquets there, we did big weddings, big omelet lines. We sauteed a bunch of omelets for everybody, and we did pastas to order for everyone as well. So it was a real big hotel. From there, came back to Canton. I went to Canton, Ohio. That's I'm from that area, Madison, Canton, Ohio, and I worked at the Marriott there. Eventually became the sous chef. Which is the assistant to the head chef. So it's just like the assistant chef. You do everything the head chef does, but you're just assisting. You don't have that head chef title. So I was about 21 years old at the time, and I did that for a little while before the Marriott ended up taking the name off the building. And then after that, I went to a few upscale casual restaurants, and that's where I spent the bulk of my career. I did some openings, did some time in Willow Grove, Philadelphia, opening stores there, and in Cherokee, North Carolina, opening stores there as well, and doing team leading experience, and being the lead, like the title says, the lead in the kitchen, being the team lead in the kitchen, and also being the trainer on some of those openings that I did as well, and moving up to being the sous chef, and then coming to Columbus to further that career, and then working in certain bars, establishments like that, and upscale restaurants and hotels. So I have dabbled in quite a bit of things, quite a few restaurants, and got a little bit under my belt, and I am pretty confident with my skills, and I love cooking. I love doing what I do. So that's why I eventually have opened up my own catering service, and I feel comfortable doing that. And I want to give like I said, the excitement and the joy and the love that I felt eating as a family. I want to give that same love to other families. I want to give the recipes that my mom cooked growing up. I want to give those back. That's how I started off my catering service, with the recipes that my mom gave us growing up. I tweaked them and I gave them back to everybody else, because I love those recipes. So I decided to give those recipes to everybody else, because I felt like those were great recipes to have, and they gave us great feelings. So I wanted to make sure everybody else felt the same way. And I also I started my catering service off with recipes that other nationalities enjoy, that were comfort food for other nationalities. Like spaghetti with meatballs. It's a really big one. Chicken paprika, coq au vin, different things like that were just classics in other nationalities, that were also comfort foods that those nationalities enjoyed. And I want everybody else to understand that just because we're Americans, it doesn't mean that we don't have comfort foods. Every nationality has a comfort food, and if I have a comfort food from every nationality that I have tweaked, that I have put my own twerks on, and I have made it my own recipe, and if I can get every nationality to come and eat under my one roof, then I can get the world to eat under my one roof, and everybody can get to know each other and understand our similarities and our differences as well, because we're all similar, but we're all different. We're all unique, and I think we should celebrate each other's differences, and even our similarities. We should celebrate our similarities as well. So that's one big thing I plan on doing with this show right here, is getting as many experienced culinarians on here as I possibly can, to have them tell you about their experience in the culinary industry, how it has impacted them in their life, and they can cook some of their favorite dishes, and you can see how some of their favorite dishes taste and why those dishes are their favorites. And I can show you how to eat healthy. I can show you how to juice fruits, and eat fresh or drink fresh fruits. Even if you can't eat them, you don't like to eat fresh fruits, you can juice them, and you can get the same nutrients, from juicing them. And we can make new recipes together. I can show you how to do new recipes. I can show you how to tweak recipes. I can show you how to use knife skills. I can show you how to, do small dice and batonnet and brunoise, and I can show you how to, make different sauces, and even break down certain meats, and do as much as we can possibly do in a home setting, here on this show. So that way you can be comfortable in your own kitchen as well, and I can teach you as much as I know as possible, so that way, like I said, you can feel comfortable in your kitchen, and maybe you don't feel like going out one night. You cook your own food, you can make some restaurant quality food in your own place. You don't have to worry about going out and waiting in lines or anything like that. You can enjoy it at home. So, I think everybody should enjoy good food at home, good comfort food at home. I still believe that, families should at least eat at the table at least once a week. I do believe that. I do believe that, the world is a global society and that we should treat each other as global neighbors. I really do believe that. Thanks for your time. Oh yeah, you can definitely look forward to seeing videos from me at least once a day, hopefully once a day. You know what I'm saying? If not once a day, maybe every other day. But I'm gonna do my best to get those videos to you once a day. I'm gonna do my best to share my knowledge with you and just be a part of your life as much as possible. Thank you. Stay safe and be well. Take care.